Recently, speedrunning Minecraft has exploded in popularity. It used to be that Super Mario 64 was firmly atop the speedrun.com most played, but now it can't even come close to the sheer volume of active Minecraft speedrunners. And with such a huge community, Minecraft speedrunning content pulls enormous amounts of views very easily. With it being such clear catnip for viewers in the speedrunning community, a lot of people have thrown their hat in the ring,
You're a bit
including
late.
me.
Oh my god.
I recently spent some time myself learning how to speedrun the game, and I found it to be extremely friendly to new players. There are no end of tutorials on every aspect of the run. There's tips, there's strategies, there's guides, so it's by no means difficult to learn. But in the process of actually learning and doing runs myself, I discovered things that none of this introductory content had actually warned me about. So I decided to make this video, to tell you the things that no one tells you before you start speedrunning Minecraft. Now just before we start, I'd like to make it very clear, I love speedrunning, I love Minecraft, and I have serious respect for the top Minecraft speedrunners. The level of skill and dedication required to do that is amazing, and the run is a lot of fun to watch and play. I'd just like to make it very clear what you're getting into. So in this video we'll be taking a look at my live streamed run. I've cut this run down significantly to only actually show the important parts that are worth talking about. And hey, by the way, feel free to follow me over on Twitch. I regularly stream Doom Eternal speedruns, so if you'd like to see me actually doing a speedrun well, or see any of my other fun and informative gaming content, come follow me on Twitch, links in the description. But before we take a look at it, there's a couple of more general points I'd like to quickly go over, so here we go. The first thing no one tells you, the number of resets you will have to do. Oh my god, it's unbearable. Just for reference, I was taking a drink on every reset, I started completely sober, and look how I ended up.
Same here, virgin. Good part, Rob.
That's a lot of resets. It eats up so much of your time, and it's so disheartening to spawn into a world that's a bit suboptimal and have to immediately just reset. There's not a huge amount to say about this, but having to watch this box fill up over and over again gets really old really quick. The second thing nobody tells you is, oh my god, it's so hard. It's not unusual for speedruns to have a difficulty curve, that's half the fun many would say, and I agree. I went in looking for a decent challenge. What I did not go in for was one tiny slip up, one stray gas, one block too high, one piglin too many, to be the difference between a completed run and all your time going down the toilet. Generally, when you're running, one death is it, and there just isn't a way to realistically come back from it, unless you know exactly where you died and you can quickly get back and pick everything up. But if you're on anything resembling a decent run and this happens to you, you can pretty much kiss your run goodbye. This is a very difficult speedrun, not necessarily to learn, but definitely to be able to pull off consistently. Now, the next thing I'd like to talk about is backups. In speedrunning, the term backup is used to describe something that may not be as quick, but it's easier, more consistent, or a way to save the run when something goes wrong. So take this skip here for instance. Don't make it? No problem, there's another skip you can do right here. It's not as fast, but I can assure you it's a lot better than watching your run die. But in Minecraft, there are no backups. If you get a bad nether spawn for example, you've got a bad nether spawn and there's nothing you can do about it. The same goes for literally everything in your run. If something doesn't go in your favour or you die, there are no backups. There's no way to rescue your run, it's all or nothing. Which means every run you do, everything has to go in your favour or you need to reset. And I don't know about you, but personally, I do not like those odds. Alright, now that I've covered these main points, I'm going to show you the cut down run. And before we start, yes, a lot of the failures are on my part. Had I had more knowledge and practice, this may have gone down differently. But this is where a week will get you to. And also, I'm recording new footage of myself talking to put over the old footage, because in that I'm a little bit... So I spawned next to a desert and a lava pool, which as spawns go is pretty optimal. Which is always a nice boost. It feels good, but I think what I say after this is pretty important. A good start. I mean, I get a good anything else. I feel like this is really easy to forget. Getting a good start is easy. You can just keep re-rolling until you get a good start. But to get, say, good piglin barter rates, you need good RNG for a good start, then you need good RNG for piglin rates, then you need good RNG for everything else. If one of these RNG planets is in alignment, that's great, but you need them all to be in alignment for anything to actually come of it. So here I'm doing pretty much what you'd imagine the easy thing. I'm using stone to make some tools, nothing special here. Although as you can probably see, my movement through the crafting menus is hilariously bad, so I'll accept that time loss as my own. So I get even more good luck here. I find a ruined portal that has an amazing chest at it. I was actually feeling quite good at this point. I knew I'd be going into the nether prepared with my golden armour. And not far from the ruined portal I spotted this village. So by this point I had in my head that unless I get really unlucky with the iron golem, I'll be going to the nether. Happy days. But as it happened, this village actually had a blacksmith at it that had an amazing chest full of iron and diamonds, which meant I didn't even need to bother killing the iron golem. I'd be going into the nether armed with additional iron, a diamond sword, already wearing armour, and then just to make things even better I found more iron tools already made for me. However, just as Iron Jesus gives, he also takes away. This village only had one bed, which was extremely unfortunate. But I was counting my blessings at this point, and I thought since I've got a lot of iron, I can just make some shears and shear some sheep later on to get some wool, so it wasn't that huge a deal for me. So after this, it was pretty much just a case of heading back to where I knew the lava pool was, near the spawn point. As it happened, I found one on the way, which was lovely. Now building the nether portal is something I got a lot of practice at. It's one of those things that's really hard at first, but once you get it down, it's really easy. So once I spawn in the nether, things go downhill immediately, unfortunately. I found myself spawning in a closed off area with nowhere obvious to run to, so I spent a bit of time running round in circles, which, you know, I can blame myself for suboptimal movement. Skeletons have always bothered me. Back when I was a lad with a glint in my eye and a spring in my step, skeletons were a lot weaker, but not anymore. I considered just bypassing them, but I was seeing a lot of soul sand in lava and I knew they'd just either snipe me to death or push me into lava. So I thought, yeah, I should just deal with them now. And also they reminded me that I hadn't actually built my shield yet. Spent a little bit more time running around until I found a way that looked pretty open, so I decided to just go that way. Now this is just my lack of understanding of soul sand physics, and it's pretty cringe. And here we have it, the first ghast. I thought I'd stand and fight it so I wouldn't have to worry about any surprise fireballs, but honestly I don't think I should have bothered. I think I put it quite well here. See, you can be as good as you like at actually hitting those things back, but they just move. Tunnelling through the walls ain't fast, but it's safe. I lost a bit of time, but I'd rather lose time than lose the run. I tried to fight the ghast again here, but I gave up a lot quicker and just decided to tunnel into the wall again. Now, this is actually the closest thing that I think I do to a big brain strat. If you didn't know, ghast can't destroy cobblestone, so by walling up behind me with the cobblestone I knew I was 100% safe from the ghast. I wouldn't exactly call that a galaxy brain maneuver, but it was good. And that's something no one tells you about speedrunning Minecraft. You feel a lot of pressure to do these big brain strats. You feel like if this is going to be worth watching, I need to do something amazing. Now this is a perfect example of what I would say is the biggest problem with speedrunning Minecraft, and there's another example of this down the line as well.
See, there's a thing you can do to like scan for bastions, but
I know what to do, but I don't know how to do it. I watched like 5 different videos on this that all explained it slightly differently, and I also gave it a bash in a few practice worlds. So the theory, I knew that, but doing it in practice is so different. Scanning for a bastion is a fairly fundamental skill as far as I can tell. It's quite important to be able to do, but it just takes so much research and understanding and practice and a bit of luck as well to actually pull it off in a run, which is not the impression I had of it going in. So as luck would have it, I got away with not knowing how to scan for a bastion, and I just happened
see if I was a speedrunner of a high level of skill, because this is like quite close to the spawn point.
I think what I say here is quite important. Other than a few minor errors, this has been an extremely lucky run so far, but I did not have the skill to capitalise on it. Even with everything going in my favour, it's already taken me a good chunk of time to get here. And you know, as I said, I've had a decent amount of practice at it, but to get to the level of skill where you can really capitalise on a spawn like that, it takes an enormous amount of practice. It would take a long time to get all the experience, and to get the skill, you need the practice, and to get the practice, you need the luck to get a decent world, which is completely doable, but it's a big commitment.
But I need to get over there without getting killed. I don't really much fancy making a bridge across the lava.
Proceeds to make a bridge across because I couldn't think of any other way to do it.
Luck. The speedrun's 100% luck.
So yeah, I'm hoping by this point I've made it clear that a lot more goes into this than luck. So again, I should have been placing down some of that netherite to jump across soul sand faster, so my fault, cringe. So it's from this point onwards that my lack of understanding becomes quite apparent and detrimental to the run. There are patterns to how these bastions spawn, and to be honest you really just need to have them memorised, but I think it's quite obvious that I have not committed anything to memory.
Right, so I don't know how to navigate about these.
And there we have it, I don't know. Which circles back to what I was talking about scanning for the bastion. These are things that you just have to know, and have practiced, and have experienced at. It takes a lot of work, a lot of research, a lot of memorisation, and a lot of practice.
Right, so it's over this way, cool.
So I actually do know where I make the holes for these ones, but I feel this is just my lack of experience becoming apparent, because I was really concerned about being rushed by a group of piglins, so I thought I'd make this hole just to keep myself safe, because being rushed by a group of piglins isn't really something I would know how to handle, because unfortunately there are no guides on how to handle combat or being rushed. Most of the material that I found, in fact all the material that I found, basically just shows you how to do the run, and nothing really covers what to do when something goes off the beaten track, like this is. So you can kind of tell here that I pretty much know what to do. This is the most optimal point to trap them on. But after that, it comes back to the memorisation. You just have to know where all the gold blocks are, and I think it's quite apparent that I don't. And that resulted in me spending a lot of time messing around. I wasted so much time mining out blocks just looking for gold. So this is decent, got pretty good drop rates here, no complaints. So this is me continuing to be cautious, circling back to what I said earlier, because combat's really something I'm not prepared to handle. Now this is a case of poor inventory management. I hadn't had it mentioned to me that you need to keep track of your inventory, but I feel like that is something you should probably know before you even start thinking about running, so I'll blame myself for that one. This is again just me being overly cautious. Please, please, please take this as a lesson to know where the gold blocks are and to not fall into the piglin hole. So at this point I thought, it's not worth it, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to go for the gold block stash in the centre. It's dangerous, it's going to take a lot of time, but I suppose that's what I get for not knowing where the rest of the gold blocks are. So you can see the particles flying off me. That was because I drank a potion of fire resistance that I got off the piglins. I was concocting a big brain strat of drinking the fire potion and just jumping down the lava, but at the last moment I thought, I wonder what happens if I hit one of the blocks or just get destroyed by a magma cube. So I suppose those are also things that you need to be aware of, but that just comes from sort of knowing the game. I think walling up the inside is, I wouldn't say overly cautious, but it's definitely cautious.
Galaxy
and I
Brain
definitely
strats.
wouldn't call it Galaxy Brain, sorry mate. Now I don't know what the exact damage values are, but I'm pretty certain if I hadn't lucked my way into a diamond sword I would have died and lost the run here.
Oh no.
I went a bit crazy here, I took a lot more gold than I needed. My thinking was, it's all here, I might as well take it. It'd be really annoying if I took like just as much as I needed and ended up not being enough. But if I just take more than I need, I won't need to come back, I'll have extra to distract them. That was my thoughts.
I'm swiftly running out of bread, so
I wonder what's going to kill this run.
I can just use them for traversals, which is good.
And that mistake was the final nail in the coffin. If you don't know, when an Ender Pearl teleports you, you take a little bit of damage. I only had 3 bread left in my inventory. Food management was also one of those things that I didn't really think to consider. It was just in my mind, you know, smash up some hay bales in the village and you've got infinite food. I never really thought, and I don't think anyone's ever said, that you actually need to be conscious of sprinting and jumping and how much food you have left. So at this point I was trying to figure out which quadrant I was in and hopefully pick the right direction to run. Not that it really mattered, because after I determined where I was, I just ran the most comfortable, easiest direction anyway. Extremely low health, no food, hunger bar's not even full. This links back into what I was talking about earlier with backups. Maybe the most optimal strategy here would have been to build another portal, go back out and find some food. I didn't know that, because there's never been a discussion of backups that I've seen. Possibly that would have been the smartest thing to do in this situation. I don't know, I imagine that would just come from experience. All you get taught is go from Bastion to Fortress or Fortress to Bastion. Not really what to do if it goes wrong.
I could very well die and lose this run.
10 points if you can guess what's about to happen.
You fuck! What the fuck? Why'd you do that?
My thoughts exactly. Not gonna lie, this was a really stupid way to die, but if it wasn't, this would have been something else. You know, I'd have been knocked into lava by a gas. The blaze would have killed me. Ultimately, the thing that killed me was my lack of knowledge. I spent too long running around in circles inside the Bastion not knowing what to do, and I used all my food. That was what killed me. And the reason I spent so long running around in circles in the Bastion is because I didn't have the knowledge and experience to just go straight to where I needed to be, and I didn't know how to handle things going wrong. And I feel like that is the problem with Minecraft speedrunning. If something doesn't go to plan, all you can really do is reset. Maybe that Bastion that I found was really bad and warranted a reset in itself, but I didn't know that. Maybe I wouldn't have found the fortress. Maybe anything else would have happened that would have warranted a reset and been impossible to come back from. You can't clutch a Minecraft speedrun the same you can with other speedruns. You can't pull a run back from the jaws of defeat. You just can't do that in these runs. It's all or nothing. You either nail the run or you reset. And if there is any way to clutch a run, that's something that I imagine would have to come with mountains of experience. So to kind of put a bow on all of it, contrary to what this video might make you think, I actually really enjoy Minecraft speedrunning and I had a lot of fun doing it. And it's probably something I'll be doing again at some point in the future, and I would really hate to discourage anyone from getting into it. But what I do want to make extremely clear is the reality of what you're getting yourself into. So let's sum it all up. There is a lot of luck in it. That's just a fact of the game. Nothing anyone can do about that, within the rules. It's a lot harder than you think. The pros make it look easy, but Eddie Hall makes a half-ton deadlift look easy too. But I assure you, it's hard. It's really hard. There's no second chances. If you mess up, your run is finished, and there are only some circumstances where you can come back from that. There's a lot of knowledge and memorization required. You need to know a lot about how structures spawn and even how the game works internally, so you're definitely going to have to be doing your homework. And if you could take one thing away from this video, I want it to be this. It will take a long time for you to get the experience for everything to fall into place. You need some good luck to get a good world to even practice in. And yeah, there's practice worlds in the data pack, but that can only get you so far. You need to do actual, live, unassisted runs to learn the critical skills you need to become a successful Minecraft speedrunner. It's a long road, but if you want to do it, and you put the work in, you can make it. Thanks very much for watching. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments if you disagree with anything I said, and subscribe if you'd like to see more in the future. I also regularly stream on Twitch, so follow me over there if you're a speedrunning fan. Link is in the description.
Here.
Uh-huh.
There's no nuts in this, but this is the closest you're going to get to tasting Kinder Bueno.
It was.